Today on Beyond.
Welcome to New York! When I first saw you, I thought something to do with computers, internet, and music.
Our sidewalk psychic takes a trip to the Big Apple and predicts the future for total strangers. But first,
I'm here today because 2 years ago, my husband committed suicide. We were having a family vacation. He had reconnected with his estranged daughter. They had been estranged for about 7 years. We arrived at the resort, unpacked, and the next morning he disappeared.
a family vacation turned to tragedy when this man left his family, flew home, and killed himself.
He had laid all of his possessions on the desk, but he had taken my picture out of his wallet and put it in his pocket over his heart, and he left on his wedding ring. He went downstairs and loaded one of his shotguns and used it.
He left no note, no explanation, and now his wife has turned to James for answers.
I would like for both Holger and myself to find a little peace. I think we both need it.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, Brenda, yes? Is that
Yes,
your name?
it's
Hi,
Brenda.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet
sweetheart.
you.
Nice to meet you. I'm not going to bite you. Believe me, I won't bite you. Don't worry.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And I know you lost your husband, is that right?
That's
And
right.
He killed
Yes.
himself, and you
Yes,
want
he
to try
did.
to reach
I
him
want
and
to
see
connect
why,
with him.
maybe why
Yes,
this
I'm
happened.
I'm
something.
desperate to find out why.
All right, all right. Well, first of all, let me tell you that you have a father figure standing behind you, and he's very tall when he comes in here, and he wants to tell you there's a connection between him and your husband. So what does that mean?
They died a week apart, my father a week before
Okay.
my husband.
Okay. Well, there's a flag. I'm also shown here, some kind of a flag. I don't know what this means, but there's a flag.
My husband is from Germany.
Okay. Do you have a German flag of his?
I do.
Thank you.
He has a flag collection. He
Oh, he's a
loves
flag
flags.
collection. Oh, well, that's why I'm being
loves
shown flags here. Okay. Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, it's just evidential stuff that he wants to get through to you,
Right.
let you know.
Right.
He's here with your father, okay? There's also another lady here, and this would be your father's mother, I'm being told.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And she's much shorter than your dad, and she wants to bring you, go on. She said she brought you a bouquet of flowers to make you happy.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. Brought you a bouquet of flowers. Interesting. She said they match the dishing set, the set of dishes you have, with their flowers on the dishes. You understand this, please?
I'm passionate about dishes in China, and
Okay.
I always match the flowers to
Thank
the china.
you. Okay. Well, she's talking about you recently. I don't know if you recently just bought a new set of china, and there are flowers on the china.
My husband bought me
Your
a set
husband,
of,
okay,
yes,
he's bought
yes,
the china
yes,
set,
yes.
and there are flowers on there.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
He is bringing you right now these flowers with his grandmother. They're bringing the flowers that match the dish set, the china set that he gave you.
Oh, how lovely. Thank you.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, there's definitely past life connections here.
I feel that.
Oh, I know it. I know it. And I want to tell you something that I'm getting here too, that I pick up with him. He's telling me you saved his life once before in another lifetime. I think you might know this. You might have had premonitions about it, or you might have
Yeah,
dreams about it.
I do believe that.
Yeah, definitely. He's very meticulous, this man. You know what it is also with him? His world he's talking about has to be so rigid, and it's so set in a pattern, and anything that goes outside of that, he can't handle it, you know?
You've just absolutely nailed the situation.
Yeah.
That he was very meticulous and,
I see it.
very determined.
I see it. It's almost like I have like a puzzle, you know, puzzles, and it has to be the pieces of the exact light fit in perfectly. And if one of those pieces is out of line, throws the puzzle out because they don't belong there, okay? Was there a marriage before you with him?
Yes. Yes, both of us.
Okay. He's referring to his first marriage, and he's also talking about something, he said in some ways that should not have happened, his first marriage. It really should not have. I also want to ask you, does he have a son? Why is there a problem with his son? because there was a problem there which was not resolved. When he passed over, he said he still left his problems behind, and he still has the problem with the son he left behind, okay? And he wants me to tell you, it's one son in particular, there might be more than that, but there's one in particular he has to say he's sorry to. Because I feel like he either disowned him at one point or he didn't want to talk to him. Understand?
They had sometimes a difficult relationship.
Okay, and is the son with a woman, with someone?
Yes.
Okay, and did he not like this person?
Yes.
Thank you. Didn't? That's what he's telling me right here behind me as he's talking to me, and he talks to me like this. That's how he's talking to me. He's like a teacher, and I have to listen to him, sit straight up in class. Yes, sir. This sort of thing.
But with much charm.
With a lot of charm.
So you want to do it.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a girl from that marriage.
Yes, a daughter.
A daughter from that marriage, girl from that
Yes.
marriage is on about here. And is there someone also with the name of Anna?
Antja.
Antja.
Is the daughter.
As a daughter, thank you. Okay. He wants to thank you for being kind to her and taking her in as though she was yours. You understand that, Brenda?
Yes, I do.
What a wonderful lady you are to do that. That's a wonderful thing. That's a good thing. Because not many people would do that. So it's a good thing you're doing, yeah?
I wanted to take his place in her life, if I could.
Yes. Well, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great, great job. And you really were provided in his life at a time when he needed healing. You know that.
That was what I tried to do.
Well-
That's what I hoped I could do.
Next, the reading with James continues. And this woman's late husband is up to his old tricks.
He smokes cigarettes also?
At one time.
Well, he's smoking now.
Plus, our sidewalk psychic gets down and dirty in New York City.
When I first saw you walk over, I said, what a good-looking guy. And I think you're a heartbreaker. I think you've broken a few, probably men's hearts.
The mean streets are full of secrets. Find out more on Beyond. Brenda wants to know why her husband committed suicide so soon after being reunited with his estranged daughter. The reading with James continues.
That's what I hoped I could do. I feel somehow I must have failed.
No, you didn't fail because you did as best you can. He's got to take responsibility. You know that? He's going to take responsibility. And you've got to be honest enough yourself to realize that. He said to me in some ways he doesn't feel he was worthy of you.
I feel it's the other way around.
Well, I'm just telling you what he's telling me. And he has this whole self-image problem when he's alive. And he's saying he was not felt worthy in some way, and he did not want to cause problems. He didn't want to get involved and hurt you. He didn't want to hurt you. He felt as though he didn't want to get angry with you. And he didn't know if he can control his anger. Because he lost it sometimes, you know?
Towards the end, he lost it frequently.
I know.
Yeah.
And he couldn't control it. He couldn't control it. So, Brenda, I hope that helps you.
It helps very much.
Good. Thank you. There's definitely past life connections here.
James said you had saved your husband's life in another life, and you shook your head. Yeah, you totally understood that.
I've always felt that we had a connection that went beyond this lifetime. It just felt as though from the moment that we met that, that the connection was very strong and very deep, and I have no doubt that we were together in another lifetime.
There's a flag I'm also shown here, some kind of a flag.
My husband collected flags from every country that he visited, and we have a lot of flags. And he brought them from Germany and said, well, what am I going to do with these? We don't even have a flagpole. And so at one point when he went away, I had a flagpole installed, and we flew the German flag for him when he came home.
He wants to thank you for being kind to her and taking her in as though she was yours.
I think of all of the people who miss him so much. His daughter and my daughter and myself are the ones that have had the most difficulty coming to terms with this. And so we've all tried to help each other.
How do you feel about this whole experience today?
When someone that you love deeply dies this way, you're left with so many questions.
Sure.
Some that maybe will never be answered, but it's a search. It's a constant seeking for answers, and I think I found some today.
Recently caught up with my friend and fellow psychic, Judy Hoffman, as she hit the streets of New York. Let's take a look.
Welcome to New York. I'm Judy Hoffman. What I'm going to do today is go up to perfect strangers here in Times Square and give them psychic readings. I'm Judy.
Hey, I'm Jeff. Nice to meet
Hey,
you,
Jeff.
Judy.
Nice to meet you. First, just right off the top of my head, 2000 to 2001, horrible, difficult span of time for you.
Well, it was, yeah,
As it was for a lot of us. You
yeah.
still haven't found your niche work-wise. As far as relationship, I think that it's been a problem, kind of in and out, back and forth with a number of different women. Could have been one that was relatively serious up through about 98, 99, even into 2000, and it has collapsed.
And then it collapsed, exactly. This is freaky.
Looks to me like there could be a relationship issue that's going not so bad, actually. That you have a hookup that's been sort of back and forth, up and down, but not horrible as of today's reading, correct? Where you're kind of communicating with him.
Limbo, yeah.
A classic commitment phobia. That this guy's fearful of saying she's my girlfriend. Financially, I think there's some problems.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that for both of you, actually. When I first saw you walk over, I said, what a good-looking guy. And I think you're a heartbreaker. I think you've broken a few, probably men's hearts recently, correct? Not women. You don't bother with the women. Work-wise, you're going to end up leaving New York. I think you have something happening in Europe. You could even model, but that's only a part of who and what you are.
Everything you just said is true.
I think you have two women who adore you. One is your mom. And she's been in the way of real relationships, though, in the past. But I think she's broken you up with girlfriends when she's disapproved even a tiny little bit. Is that correct? First thing I got from you is that there's a man that sort of broke your heart, not that recently, but still like you're hanging on to the pain from about a year and a half, even 2 years ago. Does it make sense?
Yes, you're right.
I think, too, you have concerns over your mother. That your mother has also in some way interfered, or she's caused a problem in your life. Has she been ill?
Yeah.
And what you need to do is stay far, far away. I mean, even if the compelling force is to pick up the phone, to call her, and to be the good daughter, the loyalty is what got you in trouble the first time around. When I first saw you, I thought something to do with computers, internet, and music.
Well, I love both.
But I think you're going to put it together and figure out what your career is, because you really don't know what to do with yourself yet.
Ooh.
That you've been kind of scampering around. Is that correct?
Scary, yeah.
There's something with production with music behind the scenes where you can either write it, produce it, and you're going to make other people famous. That there's a real interest in doing that. Are you interested in that?
Very much so, what I do.
And you're going to have a connection with somebody, letter D. It's really important to making this happen. Also, a J is possible.
Both of those are dead on, actually.
And that I was just going to say that you probably already know who these characters
Yeah.
are. Work-wise, you're going to end up leaving New York. I think you have something happening in Europe.
She was right about everything. She wasn't wrong.
Financially, I think there's some problems.
She was right on about that. She was pretty good about that.
Classic commitment phobia.
Yeah, I don't see it really a long-term thing coming out of it, you know?
You're going to have a connection with somebody, letter D. That's really important to making this happen. Also, a J is possible.
She actually took 2 very significant letters from my life and told me about it. I think she might have something going there, you know? Yeah, definitely.
I think, too, you have concerns over your mother.
I think, you know, what she says about my mom, I don't know, but it's right.
I thought something to do with computers, internet, and music.
I don't think that you can see from me that I'm like into computers or so, maybe like more into partying or so.
I think you have 2 women who adore you. One is your mom.
It was pretty much in the ballpark. I think there's a little bit more attention to detail, but I think she's pretty much hit it right on the nail, yes.
And I think she's broken you up with girlfriends when she's disapproved even a tiny little bit.
How does she know that?
Next,
And is there a son he has as well?
Not that I know of.
Do you have a son?
will James uncover an old family secret? Or are the spirits just restless? Find out next on Beyond.
I want to come here in this row right over here. I don't know if you are all together, 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. Are you related? There's a man standing up behind you. Would be your husband? Yes? Would you mind standing? Your husband is here and he'd be your father, is this right?
Yes.
And your father or no?
My uncle.
Okay, your uncle. And I'm talking about a cancerous condition. They give me cancer with your husband, okay? Because he's talking about cancer, cancer, cancer.
Yes.
Like the big C.
Yes.
He smoked cigarettes also? At one time, did he
At
smoke?
one time.
Okay. Well, he's smoking now. he can.
He always told me that.
He always told you that we
He
would?
used to say that if I get really, really bad, I'm going to have a cigarette.
Well, guess what? He's able to do that now. In spirit, he's able to have that, okay? Don't worry about him. He's all right. He's all right. And I know you have his picture next to you, and there's nightstand or something. It's right on the nightstand, right?
It's right by his chair.
Right by the chair? Is this, okay. There's also in the bedroom, there's a picture of some sort here. And do you have the Blessed Mother anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. It's like a shrine. I see a shrine here, okay?
Like that.
And is there a son he has as well?
Not that I know of.
Do you have a son? Son-in-law?
Well, I had a miscarriage. I don't know.
No, that's not it. Is there a son-in-law, please?
An ex-son-in-law.
Son-in-law. Did he know? He liked him,
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
like him. I want to go to your living room. Okay? As I'm sitting in that living room, your husband's sitting there, right there with you. I don't know if there are two chairs we have facing each other, please. Because talking
Side
about
by
sitting,
side.
facing each other, opposite each other, facing each other. The little table in between, okay? There's some kind of table in between. Who has the doily of some sort? Is there kind of a doily somewhere, please?
Yes.
I don't understand you.
Yes.
Thank you. He's talking to me about sitting in this living room with you. And let's talk about this. Is there a pillow on the chair to the back?
Yes.
Because he's showing me sitting there with a pillow. And I want to say, it's really funny because I see, it reminds me so much of like Archie Bunker and Edith. I'm serious. This is what he's showing me. I mean, that's what I'm seeing here. And it's like, and I want to sit there, that's his chair, and get out of the way of the television because you're in my way, and don't bother me while I'm watching my shows. Because that's what this man is like, I'm telling you right now, okay? There's also some kind of a saying in a frame he's talking to me about. What is that? You understand this? What is that?
He has these Coca-Cola signs with signs on. He
And
used
aren't
to
they still on the wall or
Yeah,
something?
they're still on the wall.
You don't want to take them down because they're still there.
Yeah.
Leave them. Leave them. I know they look ridiculous. But you know what? He loved them. They're antique. They're old. And he gets enjoyment out of that. And you get enjoyment out of that.
Yes.
And sunshine he's talking about. Something about sunshine. Sunshine or sunny days or this sort of thing. Do you understand what that means? What is that about?
He couldn't stand it when it wasn't sunny because that's when it was sunshine. He always wanted to go for his walks. He had to go for it.
Well, I said he's having sunny days now, and he's in. I got you. He's living in sunshine. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Thank you. Well, he's smoking now.
Okay, Rainey, I wanted to come out to the audience because you travel with a good little group here.
Yeah.
James talked about your husband having a great time on the other side, smoking, and he's
can't
just a
believe
happy
that.
guy.
I can't believe that because he always said that.
Give
When
him
he
the
got-
chance, he would smoke again.
Yeah, when he had lung cancer, he said, "Well, give him the chance." He'd spoke again, and he did.
I don't know if there are two chairs we have facing each other, please.
We sat together, hold hands together, and had his picture by my. That picture's always there. I think that's what he meant because Edith and Archie kind of had their little chair together.
There's also some kind of a saying in a frame.
They had signs all over the house, and just the other night, this sign that has been there for years, we were eating dinner and we looked up and the writing became doubled. And we looked at it and I thought, well, maybe there was the inner piece that fell, so we took it down and looked and there hadn't been. And the writing had doubled, so when he said, don't take the sign down, because we talked about removing it since it's something, we couldn't explain what happened to it, but something strange happened. So now we'll just leave it looking doubled in the kitchen.
And apparently your husband wants you to keep those signs up.
Oh, yes, he does. We will, honey.
Sunshine he's talking about. Something about sunshine.
He used to love the sun, and when it was rainy, he'd always say to me, "Darn," he said, it's raining, I won't be able to walk today." So he always loved walking in the sun. So when he said that, I knew that James said that he was over there walking in the sun, and that made me feel really good.
So you have this image, your husband's out there smoking and walking in the sunshine.
And probably a beer in the other hand.
And a beer in the other hand. The other world sounds pretty good. I don't know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you'd like a chance for a reading with James, send a letter to Beyond, P.O. Box 4399, Hollywood, California, 90078.